the holiday season is upon us. My wife said to me, she said, I wanted to, since it's just going to be the two of us on Christmas Eve, I want to do a prime rib. Never done a prime rib. She wants to do prime rib. And I'm thinking like I'll go to, a place that we know, a Metro Market or something like that, and they'll have it sliced, and then you pre-cook it. She's like, no, I want to do an actual prime rib. So I'm thinking if I'm going to get something like that, then I know where to go. And that's Bunzel's, right? Yeah, Bunzel's. And they did they do the holiday meals. They did Thanksgiving, where you could do turkey, and then they also have their Christmas meal as well. And I pulled up the monthly meat deal. Let me just go through this first before I lose it. You're going to love the monthly meat deal for December. You know why? Because it comes with 2 honey mustard cheddar brats, which is a show favorite here. Whole pork sirloin roast, whole or cut up chicken, a pound of ground chuck, and 2 chicken patties, which is always great. And for the final month of 2024, it is $20.24. So major price increase next month when it goes back to $20.25. So let me just see if I can find that quick. But they do have an option for Christmas. It's just such a great way to do that. And their Christmas dinner, they've got 2 different options. They do have a ham, and then so their Christmas dinner is ham. But they do have prime rib that you can just order from them and do yourself. Really? I don't know if that makes you feel better, but... Well, I'm going to give it a shot. Get your fixins and... So, Wags, have you done prime rib before? I'm looking for help here, fellas. Has anyone...
No. I've always had somebody prepare it for me.
How about you?
I have not, no.
No? Okay. I enjoy prime rib.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's for me, it's my meat of choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a prime rib guy.
And it's nice when you go out and you don't have to worry about cooking it slow and low for a bunch of hours.
There's nothing that disappoints me more than when you get a prime rib and it's got a lot of fat on it. I'm like, what? Especially if you go big boy.
If that's part of the weight that you're including.
I'm like, I have enough fat on my own body. I don't need more on this piece of meat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, man. Well, here, I'm going to tee this up. This is going to be the best radio tease that I've ever done. Okay. Don't shoot yourself in the foot and wait to place your order.
Oh, you're saying act now.
Yes. Okay, and the reason that I say don't shoot yourself in the foot is because there was only one hunting accident this year, and it was not somebody shooting themselves in the foot, but it was somebody that was in an elevated blind, and they heard a shot from not that far away, and then suddenly, quickly after, felt burning in both feet and was shot through both of his feet in the elevated blind.
Wow.
That is the only firearm incident in the entire state this year. So I just want to say kudos to the state of Wisconsin for being safer this year than they have been in many years. Usually that number is 5 to 7. Yeah, of those reported. Yes. So
because nobody wants to say what actually happened.
Yeah.
So the gun goes off in your lap and it breaks your thumb, and you're like, I'm not going to report that.
Yeah, I'm just not going to talk about this.
No, hey, guess what I did?
We got to put waterproofing on the roof of the ground of the blind now. Yes. Oh man, that was the only other thing that I had from the gun deer numbers, but I wanted to touch on that quick because that is nice to hear.
There's no one that had a heart attack.
No fatalities.
Usually, Wags, there's always that one guy that's on and again, I don't mean to make light of a bad situation, but it seems like historically, there was a 14-man deer drive and one of them collapsed from a grabber. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I did see that where it said being one incident this year. Last year was the lowest, and last year there was only 3 incidents reported.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
which
is good news. I mean,
it really is. It really is. Considering the numbers you just said, Tim, about licenses sold, regardless if it's a 200 increase or not, it's still an increase. The Orange Army is large and in charge in the state of Wisconsin and throughout the upper Midwest. But in Wisconsin, very good to see that, gun safety, understanding a firearm, what it's capable of doing, and taking care of it and themselves and you as hunters is something that you got to tip your hat to. So that's something really I like that. It's very, very nice and assuring.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually, like Tim said, I mean, it's usually a deer drive or it's something that's related with that, you hear of something and it's just, I don't know, man. There's enough things that hunters get flack for just for stupid incidences like that. I don't know. You never want to hear about that. So
as we put a wrap on the deer season, what I'm thinking about this week with the cold weather? And on my way to work, I'm looking at lots of bodies of water freezing up. And I'm thinking ice fishing is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's funny. I've got a buddy that asks me all the time, what's Silver Lake doing? Is it freezing? And I've been telling him, I've been giving him an update every day.
I lived
this
right
week.
next to it for 2 years.
Yeah, I've been giving him an update on it and said, hey, Nabobin, we have Nabobin that is starting to freeze over, which is exciting.
Right.
So,
usually Silver Lake was always busy with ice fishermen.
Yeah, right.
I thought I saw somebody out there. I thought somebody was out there.
Yeah.
It could have been.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Maybe you had too much at Lucky Chucky's across the street.
Yeah,
That never happens, right?
That's never happened.
Went to a Dockhound game, overserved, then went to Lucky Chucky's for appetizers, then jumped on the lake.
Speaking of the Dockhounds, I got to throw this in real quick, okay? So what night was it? Today's Saturday. This was Wednesday night when we had the winds and the snow squalls.
Yep.
So I'm driving by the ballpark at about, 5:30, 5:45, and all the lights are on. Can I ask why on Wednesday night? Was there something going on?
Yeah, you should have stopped in. So Wednesday night is the Dock House night. Dominic Stern is our broadcaster. He's our he's our young Bob Euchre to say, or wherever you want to go. And he interviews players. And we have a kid named Mitch Miller, who's actually went to Brookfield Central, went to school out in Utah, came back, and he played last year for us. But to answer your question, Wednesday nights, it's a live interview. The broadcaster interviews players that are in the area, whether we go Zoom call or in person. Lately, they've been in person. And the Dock House is open to a smaller menu, but everything from burgers to sliders to pizzas, to wings, appetizers. And Sergio, who is our chef, actually last Wednesday night, actually took some venison and did an amazing job with some venison steaks and wrapped them in bacon and just phenomenal. But yes, Wednesday nights, a phenomenal time up there. If you ever come by and the lights are on, stop in.
Okay. So you knew all about this. Did you get an invite?
I didn't get an invite.
I didn't get an invite either. So I'm just supposed to guess, Paul Wagner?
Yeah, I'm just going to start stopping in at the stadium on the way home now.
Come on, man.
What's going on over there? Yeah. Is there smoke coming out of that place? I'm stopping by.
And they had venison on tap on top of it.
Oh, my God, Paul.
And you think the cast of characters range from old brewer managers to baseball players to young and upcoming players in the big leagues right now to you never know who's going to be in there, especially when a cribbage board gets laid down on a table. You never know.
I can see an extra edition of Tailgate Talk being taped out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you set that up?
I can set that up. If you're willing to come, I can set that up at a 5:45 on a Wednesday night.
Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Maybe he knows a guy.
Yeah.
Do you know a guy, Eric?
Oh, I know a few guys.
You know a few
that'll show up
guys?
for that. Yeah.
Maybe we can get a hold of Wags and invite him to tag along.
Yeah. Oh, Paul.
Yeah. So I was mentioning the ice fishing thing because a couple of reasons why. If you weren't with us last week, we had Dan Durbin on.
Yep.
And the Ice Fishing Expo is coming up not this weekend, but next weekend.
Correct. The 13th to the 15th.
If you want to find out more about it, go back to the podcast page and you can download that episode. But at the same time, I am heading to the storage shed on Sunday, and I'm getting out the ice fishing gear.
Oh.
I'm going to – I was talking to my buddy who's a lifer in Lake Mills, and, I've got Rock Lake right there. And he said, get your stuff. I'll show you where to go. Ice isn't ready yet, but I'm going to attack it hard this year. I am. I'm excited about that. You know what? And we never followed through on what we said last year either, Wags. Remember we were going to do a show from the ice?
Yeah, that's right. And it was so warm, there was no ice.
Yeah, we had like 5 days of ice last
Yeah.
year, something crazy.
So we'll get Dougie Russell and the broadcast crew, the equipment anyway. And I'm saying that we do a show on the ice this year.
Yeah, I think we should. And
Yeah.
the way that things are shaping up now, I mean, we've got a couple days in the 40s, but otherwise, I mean, it's looking brisk overnight. I mean, we're in the teens or single digits, and the wind chill this morning was like -6. So we're working through making ice every day. That's what my buddy John Resnick, Paul, you know, John, that he says, we're making ice, baby. We're making ice. So
Just let me know. Just let me know the date so that you don't call me that morning and say, "Hey, where? Oh, sorry."
yeah, I thought you were out here. I thought you were making venison poppers and bacon wrapped and.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have Tasker swing by and pick you up, okay?
I'm going to do just a big loop around O-Town out there.
Right.
I'll be out. No, I can find that place. I can find it. You just destination, drop off, Lucky Chucky's, and then I will find my way out to the lake.
Go figure. We tell him about a bar, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know where that water
You know what
is."
we're going to get? We're going to get, busy boys. I'm unloading pallets again. That's what it is.
if Silver Lake is the final destination, if it's up in Lake Mills, so be it. We can go anywhere. But yes, I definitely look forward to that. We should do it.
Yeah, people didn't know the show almost spun into pallet talk during one of the
It
breaks
did.
today. So
it did a little bit. Yeah,
Because everybody laughs at me when they think I have a job, and I'm like, hey, I have a job. And I help. I help the wine and spirits department at Festival Foods, and I help the girls unload pallets, and that's what I was doing.
We might have to bleep that out. We don't need people going and asking for signatures in the meat locker or the beer cooler at Festival.
We don't really have to worry too much about that, though, do we?
Come see former big league pitcher Paul Wagner every Tuesday when he unloads pallets.
You know,
Bring your jersey.
when X delivers.
Wags, did I ever tell you the story that, speaking of John Resnick, he has asked me probably a half dozen times for a signed baseball card of yours. He's like,
why?
He's like, I want this guy's card because I know him. He played in the majors. He's a friend of mine. And I just think that that's something that I should have. So I don't know if you got any more of those cards or if you used them for Firestarter, but.
Well, nobody else has them. So he went to the right place.
Actually,
he went to the right place.
Yes.
I do.
He went to the right place.
Yeah. I actually was going, it's so funny you bring this up. I'm going through a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to downsize my storage shed, right? And my sons, I have 4 of them. So we have different eras of baseball cards that goes back to the late 80s and the 90s up through the 2000s. And I was going through one of the tubs of baseball cards because one of them swore they had a LeBron James rookie card somewhere in the storage shed. Lo and behold, I did find it. We do have a LeBron James rookie card in the storage shed. Now the debate is, whose card is it? Right?
Is it the finders keepers?
Well, that
rule?
happened over Thanksgiving. Right now,
Okay.
Dad has the card.
Yeah.
But as God is my witness, I was going through some of the tubs, and I found at least 3 Paul Wagner baseball cards.
Okay, well, I called dibs on one of them.
Two of them you're with the Brewers, and one of them you're with the Pirates.
Ooh. So we have options. So I'll find out from Rez, and I'll put a price tag on it.
We have a Paul Wagner display.
Yeah.
So they really did make them. They really did make them.
Yeah, I was shocked when I found it, too. I had to look, and I said in the fine print, Germantown, Wisconsin. So I'm like, okay, it's that guy.
Got to be that guy.
It's got to be that guy.
Oh, that's great.
They didn't mention in the Brewer one some home run that was given. No, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to bring up that.
Oh, that's good. And, Paul's always a good sport about it. So that makes it all the
I give
better.
them away. I give them away whenever I can because not many people ask for them. So you tell Johnny I got one for him.
All right.
You can take care of them.
Oh, that's good.
There you go.
Hey, in some news here, we haven't done many news stories lately, but I saw something this week that has kind of been a controversial thing for a couple of years now. There is actually a pending legislation for Sandhill Crane hunting. It's coming back. And the reason
As
for
it should.
And the reason for it is that there are, so the early 1800s, the population was the eastern population of Sandhill Cranes, which includes Wisconsin, that was hunted basically to extinction. So they've been, protected for many, many years now. The Wisconsin population alone has rebounded to over 110,000 birds in the most recent estimates. And as the population has grown, the birds have caused, go figure, crop losses totaling up to $2 million a year. For farmers. Yeah. So I have a feeling that there's a big ag legislation behind this, or,
the ag lobby.
The ag lobby.
That's exactly right.
Wags, remember this too, is that because I remember when they reintroduced the turkey back into Wisconsin. I was part of a Boy Scout troop, Cub Scout troop, whatever, back then that helped the local rod and gun club do that. And remember at that time, you could not hunt turkeys. And that didn't, if memory serves me correct, isn't the same thing where it became to a point where the turkeys are becoming a nuisance, so to speak, and it led to them opening up the gun turkey season. When Eric shared this story before he came on today, I'm flashing back and I'm going, here we go again. This time it's not the turkey, it's the Sandhill Cranes.
And that's what you need. You need the farm bureaus. You need the farmers. We need that lobbyist group to go up there and have to do it, because I talked to a couple people when we were talking about ribeye in the sky, cranes being shot west of us, west of the Mississippi. They're getting shot, and they hunt them down in Texas and all this stuff. And I heard, and they told me that you can't imagine the money that the save the Sandhill Cranes in the state of Wisconsin generates. I heard it was an astronomical amount, and that's why Sandhill Cranes would never be a hunting season in Wisconsin. But if it continues to do that kind of damage to the farmers and the farm crop, there's got to be a give or a take or something to that effect. But I always learned that the money that the Sandhill Crane foundations, the Save the Sandhill Cranes, is just an enormous amount of money to the DNR and the Department of Natural Resources in the state of Wisconsin.
I think that in the day and age we live in, and so much of our opinions are based upon what we see, what we read on social media, as much as that gives me a little bit of hope that we might be able to do this someday, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard the exact same thing that you have, Wags.
Exactly. So the last time this tried to pass was in 2021, and it did not pass. The following year, in 2022, the state's population grew 19% in 1 year. That is kind of amazing to me. I mean, that is a significant jump. But when they're not being harvested, and the only time that they're actually being managed is by predation, I guess that's not surprising. All I know is that if you go to Fleet Farm in Oconomowoc and you're driving from the intersection there on that long kind of frontage road between the gas station,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, right.
There's got to be 110,000. 110,000 in that field alone.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
When we had the cabin over in Portage by Briggsville.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean the cornfields and stuff. It was just filled with them.
Insane.
Hundreds and hundreds of these things. And I used to think that they migrated. I don't think they do. Do they now? It seems like more and more I don't see as many leaving as much as I used to.
Yeah. I don't know. Ours have all disappeared out by me. What I find amazing, though, I thought I saved this story, and I was gonna send the screenshot to you guys too. They did a study on birds, a variety of bird species. So there were some geese, there were some ducks. They actually tracked these birds from Canada to like Arkansas, Mississippi, wherever. Over multiple years, they went back to the same place within 15 miles.
Isn't that crazy?
Year over year.
That was the mallards. They did that study with the mallard ducks.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't have deer hunting. Well, I suppose there is deer hunting this weekend.
There is, yeah. It's the tail end of muzzleloader. And then you go right into the antlerless holiday hunt for a week or like 5 days, I think it is, where you can take does only. And then after that, there's like maybe a week where it's bucks again, and then another holiday hunt that's like the week of Christmas. I don't know. It's really weird the way that they have that set up. It's like they really want you to take does.
Yeah, they do, Wags. And when the numbers came in, too, that seems like there was a lot of does that were gotten this season. How did you end up faring, my friend?
we did all right. I mean, I didn't get what I want. I still have this. I have this afternoon, and we have tomorrow for muzzleloader. So I still have my gun buck tag with me. But when those numbers came out, I mean, there's no reason to skew or to say something differently. It's just that I just didn't. I had a hard time believing the numbers and the harvest rates that were recorded. That's just my opinion.
I'm glad you brought that up, Wags.
Are you skeptical?
I didn't want to be the conspiracy theorist on the show, so I'm glad that you are.
By the way, if you didn't know, the DNR is a government agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I read the comment section on probably a dozen different posts in that Wisconsin Rut Report Facebook page, which is probably the most popular hunting page in the state. I don't know that there was 10% agreement with those numbers. I bet it was 90% saying there's no way. It's not possible. How could that possibly be? I don't think those numbers are true. It didn't feel like more deer were harvested this year from my inner circle.
So
from
what
my
you're
hunting
saying
group.
is it's like last Friday, okay? Or is it 2 Fridays ago now? Whatever. I did the pregame show from Camp Randall Stadium, right, for Badger football against Minnesota. The game was a sellout. 78,000, whatever. There ain't no way there was 78,000 in that stadium that day. Okay. So, but hey, there was 78,000 tickets allegedly sold. So, I mean, to me, it kind of falls under the same way where, and Wags, let me ask you this. When I read this as well, I flashed back to other years where the DNR was trumpeting a increase in numbers, and yet the guys that, I was in the field and other friends in the field, they're talking about, I didn't see any deer. It's one of the worst years we've had in a while. And I mean, that was the vibe that I got from my hunting friends this season, was that wasn't a good year, but yet here's the DNR going, hey, everything is up. Everything is looking good.
So conspiracy theorist that I am, first thing I look at is the almighty dollar. Do you need more money for funding? Do you do this? What about the revenue stream? If this gets out that, well, last year was a very down year. So they're saying that we had a 7 to 9% increase in this year's harvest compared to last year. So now all of a sudden, if you really look at it as out-of-stater or somebody who's coming up to here, now you've had back-to-back decreasing harvest years. I don't know. Are you trying to protect the entertainment, the leisure dollar, the
tourism,
the hotels, the tourism? Yeah. I just don't know. The bottom line was, I know these numbers, they haven't backed up. They said Dodge County, I believe my county, Dodge County, harvest 3,025 deer. And I'm like, okay. I know they have numbers, they have registrations, so it's kind of hard to make a false accusation that way. But still, in my mind, I'm just so confused.
Yeah, it looks like Dodge County had, and I believe this is just gun season. Okay, so this is just gun season, Wags, and it says that Dodge County is up 16.8%. That's a large number.
Yes, isn't the number like 3,000?
3,900. Yeah, maybe it's $4,000 even, but it's like $1,337 and $2,675 does, antlerless.
Or maybe the guys were so happy and they were drinking Busch Light that they actually registered their deer twice.
3 times. Well, yeah, I don't know.
here's the other thing that I find funny in this story, right? And again, maybe it's the way the story is written. This is from the JS Online story about the gun deer season that just wrapped up. After a long string of decreases, the DNR reported sales of 553,652 licensed sales for gun deer hunting privileges, up from, and I'm like, okay, how much? 553,479 in 2023.
And Tim kept saying as he was looking at this
doing
before
the math
the
in my
show,
hand, I'm like,
that's like 200. And I'm thinking, that's not even 200.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Wags, I want to talk a little bit about what you said. So, are they trying to protect the tourism? Are they trying to do whatever? I guess maybe I'm just that fool that thinks, oh, okay, well, the deer numbers were down this year. The harvest numbers were down this year. That means there's got to be more deer for me next year. I'm even more excited to go. Because we know, we know just generally that there's a lot of deer in the state. Okay. So correct. I don't know that anybody's in a panic that there aren't enough deer out there. But when you hear that the harvest numbers are down, I'm immediately thinking, that's great. I can't wait for next year.
Well, the way I look at it is I think, and if you could spin this another way, is I think more of the hunters, as you see the dying breed going, like me and Tim were talking, with our grandpas and stuff like that, and your family, and you're probably one of the last Eric, you're probably one of the last ones that are going to have a hunting camp. Now is everybody horn hunter? Are they looking for that 175-inch deer? We're going to take a doe, we're going to fill our freezer, and we're going to eat our buck tags. And now all of a sudden I look back at after I've said that the last couple of years, that becomes me. I fill up the freezer with a couple does, small buck, and then I wait for the monster, let so many go away. So I didn't register anything for gun season.
Yeah. I think we've all kind of fallen into that trap. I mean, I'll be the first to say that was certainly me. What was it? Last year, because I shot a really nice deer 2 years ago. Right. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got a nice deer. I'd like to shoot another nice deer. Before that, it was always, if I see something with horns, I'm going to take it, because I've never shot a huge deer. And, that probably works conversely to what I was trying to do. But at the same time, there were years where we wouldn't even see a deer. And it's like, well, hell, if there's horns on it, I'm going to take it. We've taken plenty of 5-pointers, 6-pointers that aren't even really like basket racks. And it's, it is what it is. It was meat for the freezer. But I think that has kind of been a trend with how popular social media has become for the outdoorsman. And, your YouTube shows and that tailgate talk show, talking about Paul Wagner shooting 190-inch deer this year.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And, I just think that that's kind of been the trend where people are hanging on a little bit. I'm sure there's still those people who are, just going out and they're doing that. They're going to take whatever deer. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I saw a bunch of deer last year. I saw a bunch of bucks last year, and I didn't take any of them. If any of those bucks would have walked in front of my dad, he would have been slinging for sure.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think gun, obviously, we know you have a little bit of a less. You got longer range. You got quicker, colder. You shoot. Generally speaking, the harvest rate in gun is overwhelming. Obviously, because you have more hunters compared to bow and archery. But still, it seems like gun season is more. Again, I hate the word all the time, but brown is down. Like a lot of camps that you go to, brown is down. You see I've seen a lot of pictures and talked to a lot of people that. Actually were shooting does and they accidentally shot nubbies and they feel bad. But the time when you're bow hunting and you look, that nubby accident never happens.
The second rut. And the question was, Wags, is the second rut real? What say you?
Yeah. Now, I was just talking to some people. We were talking to some hunters in the Missouri, right where that Missouri-Iowa border is. And they were saying, and I was saying to them, I was like, you know what? I got so many does. We're going to take some out later. He goes, well, don't take them out with your muzzle loader, or don't, wait till late bow season and then take your does out, because the second rut is real. It really is a real thing. And a lot of people will roll their eyes at it, maybe shrug their shoulders, but it is a true thing. There are animals that don't get bred. There are a lot of young ones that don't go into estrus in that first week of November, and they go like that second week in December. Not always a 4-weeker. They were saying it's not always 4 weeks exactly, but you can pretty much go on that. The 4 to 5 week difference, when you started seeing activity, now go 5 weeks from there, and you will see a second rut. And the second rut will be with younger does that didn't go into estrus, or estrus late bucks, or ASILS late does estrus.
Yeah. I think it all depends on your circumstances too, right? Because if you have 30 does, you got a handful of bucks out there, you have the time to wait. But, if I was up north and I hadn't seen a deer and a doe walks out and it's the middle of the rut, I mean, I'm pulling back. So I think it's circumstantial to an extent. But I do agree. I think that there are those two phases where, they come in and that's, early November, kind of calm down for a little bit. And then all of a sudden you start to get right after the gun season. And I think that has a lot to do with some of the weather change too, because you start to get some of those, it might be cold during gun season, but, usually that first week or so of December, you get those cold spurts. And that kind of just changes their bodies a little bit, I think. I mean, I don't know.
Well, like you said, if you have 20 does in your block or your area or 25 does and you only have 5 to 6 bucks, they go in for that. What is their extra cycle? Is it a 72-hour cycle? Is it a 48-hour cycle? I don't know. But if you don't have the bucks and you don't take your does early on, now there's some does that are going to go through that 72-hour estrus cycle and not be bred, and that's where they can happen again. Is that how it works? I'm not a biologist by no means. Do I know the difference between a deer and a turkey? That's about it. But I don't know. It sounds like it could be a truth. And they told me don't knock it, because if you are overpopulated with does, bucks can only get in so much in that 72-hour cycle, especially when they pen down a doe and they follow her around. They follow her around and wait maybe 2 days. They go 2 days early. That's 2 days that you just lost on these other does getting impregnated.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that they're constantly looking over their shoulder, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You have your normal routines and life's good, and you got a bunch of does, and you got a little corn or maybe some alfalfa.
Right.
All of a sudden, bang, bang, the season is here. And so all those normal patterns are thrown out of whack, right?
Bang, bang. I see what you did there.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, so I found something here. A white-tailed doe of reproductive age comes into heat for 24 to 36-hour period.
There you go. So 36 hours.
Bang.
Yeah.
Especially when you have, like I said, let's just say you have 20 does on your block or your area and you got 6, 7 bucks. And those bucks, the other bucks in the area, they roam a lot, but they've already found their does in that 36-hour period. Now you have does that missed out.
So, and then it says if she is not bred in that time frame, she regresses and will come back into heat 28 days later, which kind of follows my theory of what it was is, early to mid-November or December then, kind of with that, cold snap and all that. And then it says if she isn't bred at that time, the cycle starts again. More than 98% of all mature does are bred successfully each year.
Wow.
That's shocking.
Wow.
But that's mature does. So is that a 2-year-old? It doesn't say here, but is that a 2-year-old? Is that a 3-year-old? Is that a 1.5-year-old? I mean, the fawns probably are not, but that's really surprising to me. 24 to 36-hour windows. That's crazy.
But that makes sense, though. Doesn't that make sense? Because of the fact that if you have so many, there's no way. That's why the second rut becomes something. The 28 days, like you said, becomes a factor.
So is it like, all right, there's 20 does that are hanging out. Say half of them wags are mature. All right, do they all go in at the same time? It's like, if you're like family, like mom and daughter, sometimes they sync up cycles.
Yep. I don't know.
I wonder.
I don't know
that. I don't know.
But if you're that buck and you come in and you find one that's getting close to her 36-hour window, man, you're on her. You're not going on anybody else. I mean, how many times have we seen where you walk up and you see a doe grazing, and then in behind, maybe about 25 to 30 feet behind her, you see this nice rack sitting behind a log. Yeah.
I thought you were saying it was time for a rut vacation. That's what I was thought you were going to say.
Another one. We need another rutcation.
Rutcation part 2.
Hey, by the way, real quick, some neighboring states, because our deer hunting seasons overlap. In Minnesota, gun deer kill was up 5%.
Okay.
And the state of Michigan, preliminary results from their DNR offices in Michigan say their gun deer kill was down 3%.
Okay. So it's not like all of the DNRs are getting together and they're massaging the numbers to say we're all up 5%.
I was down last year. It's your turn to be up, okay?
Yeah.
So,
we need that federal money.
Exactly. We need that money.
It's funny. I posted something on TikTok at the beginning of the gun season, and I just said, is it me, or does it feel like if you don't shoot a deer in the first 2 hours of gun season, you're probably not going to shoot a deer? I had so many people that commented that they agreed with that they felt like it was not a great year for hunting.
I talked to my brother-in-law on Monday, and he comes up from Florida. I've told you this before, he and his son.
Yeah.
He lamented the fact they didn't shoot something right away in opening day.
Right.
Because they hunted hard for 8 days.
That's crazy.
And they went back to the Sunshine State with nothing in their saddlebags.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of people from like South Carolina and just kind of some of those like coastal, like southern states, and they're like, why is your gun season so short? And it's like, well, because we wouldn't have any deer left if our gun season was the entire month of November.
Yeah,
there would be no deer left. I mean, people would have so many opportunities. Plus, then it would also overlap with the rut. They've done it specifically for 9 days in the state of Wisconsin for a reason.
Hasn't that been kicked around though?
Yeah,
where they've talked about like trying to make it more convenient so that more people would, kind of like breaking it up instead of having it for example, like, and many people don't like what they did with Summerfest.
Right.
They love the 10-day run, whatever it was back in the day, but now they have 3 weekends. So they use the same amount of days, but just spread them out longer to give people more opportunity to fit into their schedule because we're so busy now.
Right.
We don't have the time to commit like we once did.
And that's what they were, and that's what they were talking about. Open up the muzzle loader season because of the fact you do it. Open it up to gun and give them a break. Give the animals. Remember they were talking like the animals need a break.
Do it back to back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you would go, I don't know, opening weekend, maybe take Monday, Tuesday off, then go Wednesday, Thursday through Thanksgiving, then take Monday, Tuesday off, and then go that last weekend of muzzleloader, which is right now, you could still gun hunt and give you still the same amount of days to hunt, but give more opportunity or leniency or schedule reflection.
I would be in the woods this weekend if they did that. Because,
and
and again,
it's nice out.
Well, in my circumstance, I had Packers and I had Badgers and back-to-back days. And even if you're a fan, if you're making the commitment to go to Lambeau on Thursday and then go to watch the Badgers in Minnesota on Friday, you're resting up on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, and you brought that up. That reminded me, they did make a regulation change on the disabled hunt, I think, 2 years ago, where they opened it up because they were concerned that it was only a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And what about people like, I don't know, say people that work in the service industry, that their weekends are technically most of the time Monday, Tuesday, that they were disadvantaged because of that. It's like, all right, well, do whatever then. I don't see why that's an issue. I don't have a problem with that. It's not like it's that big of a population we're going to have 500,000 people out there doing the
We need to create
hunt.
a lobby group. We can call it the Lazy Lobby Group.
Okay.
The lazy lobbyists. That's what it is. So, you're lazy. You kind of work around your schedule. So and plus, it makes a great T-shirt and a button.
Right.
I'm a lazy lobbyist. Come on.
Yeah, the LLG. The LLG. I like that.
You got that? You like that? All right. What do you guys got cooking this weekend? Anything good?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try to get out. I'm gonna try to get out a little bit. I'm just gonna see if something comes around. I want to stay outside.